Oh, I don't like that light. I thought that was gonna look a lot different. So give me one moment. Let me turn around because the lighting is bad. Give me one moment. Bear with me, please. All right, that's much better. Blessings, y'all. Hold on. So I packed up my life. This is my story about my official move. Now I've given a couple updates about me moving to Atlanta and what my first week looked like. But I want to give you the official because this is a journey and I'm learning so much on this journey. Hold on. That's a little better. I'm learning so much on this journey and I want to share it. And so this is the official recap. I packed up my life in my car in two U boxes and drove from Chicago to Atlanta. Hold on. I drove from Chicago to Atlanta by faith to fulfill the calling that is on my life. Because God said, if you seek me with your whole heart, you'll find me. And I found him. He said, if you be willing and obedient, that you should eat the good of the land. And I trust that. And he said, if you delight yourself in me, that I'll give you the desires of your heart. And my heart's desire, hear me when I say this, my heart's desire is to create a life so full of God's glory that for generations to come, my family will desire to know him more. And because they seek him, they will find him and know him and the power of his resurrection. Therefore, walking fully in the Ephesians 2:10 works that he created them for, because there are works that God created us for. His plan never changed. Hold on. In this video, I took notes. I typically don't take notes, but as I share this journey, it's important that I be concise. So I took notes. In this video, I'm going to talk about my drive here, because it was a 12-hour drive, my host, the house, and the myriad of emotions that I experienced, and how I stayed anchored, because that's the real part that we need to be talking about. And a few takeaways. Let me just take a deep breath and get into this. I'm not going to be here long, but I want to be as concise as possible because this is my first full week. My drive. The day that I left Chicago, I had a lot of family and friends around me. We were packing. It was a little chaotic, more than I expected to be. I left a few things behind. Didn't get a picture with my brother, but it's fine. I plan on being on the road by 4 o'clock. I got on about 5:30. The ride to Atlanta is a 12-hour drive, but every time I've come to Atlanta, I've always driven straight. Not by myself. I've never driven to Atlanta by myself, but we've always driven straight. It'd be me and somebody else. But this time, because I'm in a different season and I hear the voice of the Lord, I needed this journey to be um, not just documented, but different and a holistic and a more holy experience. That's my truth. The more holy experience, spirit led, is what it was. So I found out about a month before my drive that, and get more comfortable. I found out about a month before my drive, before my trip here, that there was an exhibit called the Ark Encounter in Kentucky. Now, as it stands, Kentucky is the halfway point between Chicago and Atlanta. The Ark Experience is a museum dedicated to Noah's Ark. It's a life-size replica of Noah's Ark. In it, it has all the history behind Noah's Ark, the life that was before the Ark, the flood, and the life after. Noah, his family, and all of that. So I went to the Ark Encounter. First, I went to Kentucky. I stayed the night in this hotel that was close by. A friend of mine booked the room for me. And when I got there kind of late, about midnight. Kentucky, I don't really know much about it. I didn't see any people that look like me. I wasn't really concerned, but because I haven't traveled in a while, because I was world travel for a while, but I haven't traveled in a couple of years, honestly. And so there was a little trepidation in my heart. So, of course, I locked the door. I got the guy's name at the front desk, gave it to my people. And the next morning, everything was okay. The next morning, I got up and went to the ARC exhibit. I went to the ARC exhibit. When I tell you, it was mind blowing when I first got there. I felt really good that I was there. I felt really good that I had a chance to take a break. And I felt really good because I knew that I was on a journey that I couldn't come back from. I knew that this journey was taking me to a place that I've never been, that would exceed my expectations. Because again, this is the first journey, a faith journey, and I believe everything that God told me. It is why I'm out here, right? So when I arrived, my host, I'm currently in the house still. I got about another week and a half to go here. I was supposed to be here 3 weeks. But when I first got here, he was sitting outside. He's a 29-year-old young man, and he is my best friend's mentee, one of my best friend's mentees, because we have a bunch. When I got here, he was sitting down in his car in front, waiting on me. It was interesting because we live in a social media era, and I never looked him up. Like I didn't look him up one time. I didn't even know what this man was gonna look like. But I trust my community. So when I pulled up, I'm looking at him. I'm like, "Oh, are you Charles?" So we talked. It was cool. I walked into the house. I was a little concerned at first. No shade, because he's a very gracious host. He's 29 years old, but 29 and I'm 56. It's a big difference in how we do things, right? I ain't been 29, and it's a big difference in how we do things. So I was a little concerned initially, but I came in, we talked, we got acquainted. He showed me my space. He has a 4 bedroom house. It's a ranch style house. He showed me my bedroom, which has a private bathroom in it. And there is his bedroom on the other side of the house, and there are 2 other bedrooms in between us. And his bathroom, of course. My bathroom just has a shower in it. So I I got comfortable, as comfortable as I could, but immediately that night, because it's like the realization hit me. We talked for a little while, longer than I really wanted to talk, but I wanted to get to know him. He wanted to get to know me, because the truth is he was leaving the following day to go to travel abroad. He was going to Barcelona and Spain and some other places, after parties. He was kicking it. It could not have been at a better time, right? Because I met him. We talked that night. The next morning, I brought him a gift, a Start with Water morning system for him to ground, because I understand the value of it. It's the last one that I'm giving away. It's the very last one that I'm giving away. But I gave it to him as a gift. And when we got up the next morning, I asked him, did he want to do a grounding session with me, because he was about to travel. He had some things, a lot of up in the air situations. Do me a favor and speak if you're here. He has a lot of things going on in his life, so I want to teach him how to ground. So we did the Start with Water. We talked for a while. Airplanes flew over. He showed me how he grounded, because he has a large backyard, and from time to time he'll walk the grass and barefoot and just ground, because he has a high stress job. I thought that was dope, because I don't know a lot of people outside of my community that grounds on a regular basis. So I thought it was dope. Um, I cried myself to sleep that night. It was the first night, because there was a realization that I no longer had an address. I had moved from the house that I'd been in for 25 years. Um, I'm not attached to the house. I'm not attached to anything really, but the fact that I was out here in the deep and I couldn't go, there's nowhere for me to go but forward. It was a little frightening. And then I started thinking about my grandbaby. I was thinking about my son, his expressions on his face, my brother, his concern for me, all those things. I was concerned. Um, so the first 3 or 4 days, I experienced probably every emotion that I'm familiar with. I cried. I was uncertain. I felt peace a lot of times. I was sad. I was excited. about the possibilities. I was angry because I was like, God, are you with me for real? Did you have me come out here? I was scared. I felt real fear. But I know that fear is just, it is the thought of the possibility of what could happen. Like, yeah, they say false evidence appearing real, but you're thinking about and banking on the possibility of what could happen negatively. But there's always the opposite of that. But I felt real fear. I felt joy. I felt power. I felt extremely purposeful. I felt lost. I felt humbled. And I felt unlimited opportunity. I felt every one of those emotions in a very full and real way. And so, in order to balance myself, because that's important, hear me. I'm an alignment coach by the will of God. God called me and separated me from my real estate career and told me what I was created to do. He told me how to do it. And so I've been doing it. And over the past few years, I have developed a lot of tools in order to do the thing that God called me to do. Like I have learned how I've got tools for my spiritual connection to make sure that I stay anchored to God. And start with water is the number one tool. I'm gonna tell you why. Because in the morning time, when I get up, before I do anything, I drink water, I read my Bible, and I sit on the meditation pillow, ground myself, read scripture, allow space for the Holy Spirit to come in, and journal gratitude. That's the first thing I do every morning. And because I start my day like that, whatever I had going on the night before, it's an opportunity for me to wash my slate clean and move forward. So I was really thankful for that. I developed really good playlists, like playlists that remind me. Because here's the thing about faith: faith is a walk that you can't see. God is a God that you can't see, but you can feel him. You can see his hand, you can't see his face. You can feel his presence, but you know he's there. And so the um so spiritually, I developed a couple really good playlists, and I listened to music. I listened to songs that reminded me. I listened to worship music. I didn't really feel like worshiping a lot, but I did it because what I know is God inhabits the praises of his people. And when you worship God, especially when you don't feel like it, because regardless of what you feel like, because you heard all the emotions I said I experienced, regardless of what you feel like, God's still worthy. I had all those emotions in a period of three to 4 days. So the feelings change, but God remains the same, right? So I worshiped him. Mentally, I listened to books. And I read books. I brought books with me for this journey. Why? Because I'm in a new arena. In a new arena, I started a new career, right? And I could sell real estate in my sleep, but I'm trying to develop mastery in a new area. Everything that I do in this new career, except for talking to the clients and coaching the clients, is hard. Talking to the clients, coaching the clients, that's the easy part. But developing a real business and skill sets around making it a productive and solid and sustainable business, that is the hard part. So what I did for my mind to let me know that I'll be able to sustain is I continue to learn how to make this second nature to me, how to continue to move forward in this business, the tools that I need to develop, because I got the tools for my spiritual well being, right? So the tools for my business, I was adding those to my repertoire. I listen, and everything that I learn, I begin to take notes, and I'm implementing. I'm implementing. Like whenever you learn to do something, you, like even tying your shoes. When you learn how to tie your shoes, it was not an easy thing to do. Like everybody struggled learning to tie their shoes. But you learn how to tie your shoes when you were 3, 4, 5. Like you tie your shoes without thinking about it right now, right? And this is where I'm trying to get to with my business practices. So I read books, and everything that I read, I implemented. Like I was methodical with it. I'm like, oh, this is what I need to do. Okay, I need to put this in. So I learned new skill sets to make sure, because You are what you think, and you're only limited by your own thoughts. This I know. So I utilize the tools. Physically, I immediately got okra water because okra water is extremely hydrating, and I had reverted to partaking in THC. I didn't tell nobody in my community about this because um, I didn't want to talk about it, um, but I did. And so when when you partake in THC, it's drying. It dries your mouth and all the things. I'm a hydrated woman. I can't have the dryness, right? So I made sure I had the things that kept me extremely hydrated. And okra water was one thing. And then I ate mostly raw foods. I a lot of salads, veggies. I juiced. I went and bought juices and stuff like that. Mm, I what else did I do? Um, I did yoga. I did yoga. I found a park that's around the corner from me with a beautiful body of water. It's a small body. It's like a fishing pond, but it's beautiful. It's really, really peaceful. It's. I'm so thankful that it's like 2 minutes walking from here. I started walking every day. Got to know a few people in the neighborhood. Not that I'm going to be living in this neighborhood, but it doesn't matter. I got a QR code, right? And when I meet the ladies, I want to connect with them because I'm in Atlanta to connect with people. I'm in here to build a business and to serve women. So I connected with women, and I I have some, I've got some family here, and I've got people that are like family here. I've got some blood family here, and I've got people that are like family here. Um, I tried to connect with some of my family. That didn't work. I connected with some of my family. Um, that didn't work. It worked a little bit, but this is what what I know to be true. Um, This is what I know to be true, and I'm gonna be careful with my words because I love my family. It's the reason I do most of what I do because I know that you can change the one person like Tyler Perry is one person in his family that changed the trajectory for the rest of his family's life, right? And I'm not trying to be Tyler Perry, but I know that all of us have gifts, and when you believe and follow the Lord, that you can do that. So everything that I do is not just for me, like because my truth is, I've lived a couple of really good lives. I could have just skated this thing on out, but when God told me, I did it. And so, because of all the emotions that I was feeling, and and things weren't going as I hoped with my family, and I didn't have a lot of expectations, but I did have a few, and it's my fault. I felt my lower nature rising, and me wanting to be angry about some things and respond in a carnal way about some things. So I fasted. I fasted over the weekend, Friday, because again I felt my nature rising, and that's how I keep my lower nature in place. Because when you get disappointed, like you're always, even if you're not disappointed, you always got an opportunity to go either way, right? And I want to be spiritual. I am spiritual. I want to move, and I am spiritual. I want to move like Jesus would move in a way that would please him. And this is the thing that um that I know to be true. When I started feeling these feelings, I understand that where I am is so important for me. It's important for me because whatever happens, my life is my responsibility. So if I allow my feelings or somebody to pull me into a carnal state, I know that Jesus is not pleased with that. So I thought about what God said. He said the two greatest commandments are to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. And that I decided that is what I am definitely doing, asking God to keep a pure heart in me and stand before Him. And also, at the very same time, when people could not receive the gift that Jesus was, He would leave the spaces and shake the dust from His feet. And so I decided to do the exact same thing. I just shook the dust from my feet and said that I can't, because I don't know. I know that I have a lot of followers who understand and appreciate and respect my journey. Everybody don't. Like, Everybody don't, and that's okay. But I have to protect my peace, and that means to go where I am appreciated. You don't have to celebrate me, but if you don't appreciate me, you won't get my presence. Period. So that's where I am with that. And at the very last moment, Friday evening, I found out that InvestFest was in Atlanta. That's a big deal for people like me because I'm a coach, and and there are a lot of coaches in this area. Everybody teaching something different. I don't know nobody who teaching what I teach. I don't know nobody who coaching what I coach. I don't know nobody. Not to say that I am a standout, but I know that but I am. Yes, I am. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Because if I was not saying that, nothing that I'm coaching will be true. Because we're all created for specific works. We're all created for specific reasons. We all are. And there is a domain with your name on it. I'm a alignment coach by the will of God, and I equip women with the tools to navigate these type of transitions. Why? Because if you're going to go on a faith walk, there are going to be major transitions in your life. You will not know which way you're going, which way is up and down sometimes. So you're going to have to know how to anchor your soul. You're going to have to know how to keep your mind sound and stayed on Jesus and renewed and not revert back to your old ways. So I found out that InvestFest was here Friday night. I asked God Saturday morning because just because InvestFest is here, that don't mean I'm supposed to go. I'm asking God everything. I'm asking him everything now. I asked him before I went to bed, once I found out, I said, if you want me to go, let me know and I'll go. I only want to be where you want me to be. So he led me and I went. I had an amazing experience. An amazing experience. Um, it was not cheap to go. But here's the thing, everything that I'm doing right now is building towards something, towards my marketing and all those things. And marketing is not cheap. So a lot of the marketing that I have set up, um, I got to pay in order to generate leads, right? So once he gave me the okay to go, and I'm right now, I'm thinking about the money it's gonna cost. The truth is, I'll be getting warm leads as opposed to cold leads. So I'd rather pay to meet people in person than to try to do it online, right? If I get the opportunity to meet people in person, I'd much rather meet them in person because the light is real and they see it. So give me a minute, give me a minute, give me a minute. So this is what my biggest takeaway. I'm learning in this season as I finish out the first week, and I'm now in the second week of Atlanta, of being in my move to Atlanta, that God has equipped me with all the tools that I need to keep myself connected to Him in spite of the roller coasters that I may experience, to keep my mind sound, and how to continue to keep my thoughts, think on the things that are true, that are just, that are pure, that are of good report, and continue to sharpen my mind. He gave me the tools to do that and to take care of my body. All the things that I needed to know how to do, I have learned how to do over the past 4 years. And so it was like I learned the lessons, and now it's time for the test. Do you believe what you have learned to be true? Do you believe it? So this is what hold on, let me get this. This is what has solidified this journey and the fact that I am moving forward with this. This is a book that I wrote. Um, it's called Create Your Great. Can you see it? Hashtag you don't get what you want, you get what you create. The light is drowning it out, but create your great. There you go. And in this book, I wrote, because I call this book my Noah's Ark. It was why going to the Noah's Ark encounter was so important to me, because God birthed this book through me. I wrote it in 2019, but before I wrote it, I had never lived it. And that's unheard of for me, except for in the Bible. Like um, the authors, the people who wrote the Bible, because people who don't believe in the Bible or God, they always talk about how the Bible is man-made. And men wrote that. So how is it true? How do you know it to be true? And if men write it, it's always open for sub subjection. And what I know to be true is I wrote this book by the Spirit. I told God that if He took my son, watched over him, that I'll do whatever He wanted me to do. And this is what He called me to do. I wrote the book. I never tried to sell it because I didn't know it to be true. It sounded really, really, really good. It sounded powerful and that it could change lives. But because I had never lived it, I just put it up. But now I am living it. And this is what I learned from this book. I wrote in one of the chapters, I'll tell you the chapter that it is. It's called Map Your Location. I didn't even look at that, but it's called Map Your Location. And mapping your location is about figuring out where you are. Because if you're going somewhere, you can't get to where you're going without knowing where you are. You have to know where you are in order to get to where you're going. If you put an address in a GPS, they got to know where you are in order to tell you how to get to where you're going, right? So that's the chapter of this book. But in this chapter, I said, we see it clearly in school. There's a natural progression for growth. You don't just get from kindergarten to high school. Each grade brings about its own set of lessons to be learned, assignments to be done, tests to be passed. Then you advance to the next level. Then there are the most mediocre scenarios when you age out, meaning you did not meet the necessary criteria, but because of your age, you could turn 50, and because you're 50 years old, you're just an adult, right? But you didn't necessarily meet the criteria, you didn't necessarily grow. But because of your age, you're allowed to pass to the next grade and be an adult. That happens. However, life being the best teacher will always give us opportunities to learn and grow from our experiences if you allow it to happen. The fact that you are still here and life is always teaching means that there will always be lessons to be learned, assignments to be done, and tests to be passed to advance successfully to the next level. In life, we understand that in order to obtain the job or degree necessary to be adequately monetarily compensated and to maintain that position, in order to get the job you want and get paid the money you want to get paid, you have to learn some things. You have to develop certain skill sets in order to meet the criteria by the bosses, the people who are in charge. They say you got to learn this, you're going to do it. But we, in our own lives, it's like it's a far-fetched thought. I'm going to read what the book says. Why is it then so far-fetched to comprehend that to be the person that we truly desire to be, that it is our responsibility to decide and then make the conscious effort to seek out the knowledge and information to become that person? So what was solidified for me this past week was that you need tools. You need tools. You need tools to keep you spiritually grounded because the world will toss you to and fro. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And he's not playing tiddlywinks with you. But Jesus said that He came that you might have life and that more abundantly. If you trust Him, that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. You need tools to keep your mind sound and solid because you can only go as far as you think. And when I was a child, I think as a child. I thunk as a child. But now that I am adult, I put away childish things. The Bible calls us to be childlike, not childish. My apologies. And you need tools to keep your body prepared at all times for the journey because if you're eating the wrong foods or foods that are not healthy or nutrient dense, the foods affect. If you put bad gas in your car, then your car gonna be sluggish. And so put foods in your bodies. The first week I ate mostly raw foods. I ate an omelet from time to time, but I ate mostly raw foods because raw foods make you vibrate on a higher level. like the cells in your body, literally, I will feel my body vibrating. So you need tools in order to, when you don't want to eat the right things, put habits in place to make sure you eat the right things. So this is what I want to offer to you as a takeaway. Try to decide who it is you want to become, because your life is completely your responsibility. If you do not have tools in order to become that person, connect with someone, be it a coach, be it a mentor. Um, I don't know if pastors still do that anymore. I don't know. I don't know what pastors do, except I don't know, right? And that's no shade, but a lot of times you can't get to them. You just can't get to them. There's a lot of people in place. Get you a mentor, get you a coach, read you some things in order to position yourself to become the type of person that you want to become. And if you don't know where to turn, click the link in my bio. This book is available. It's available on audio. It's available in paperback, clearly, and it's available in ebook. So get you some tools, and then once you get tools, because people will have tools and know what to do, but still don't do it. Your life, just like the chapter in the book Map Your Location, your life, the signs will tell you where you are and what you need to do. Just like you're on a road, all these journeys, all the roads that we're on are not going to be familiar. But you can look at your life and tell exactly where you are by the signs. Look at the signs. The signs will tell you where you are. If you need to make adjustments, if you need to make a left turn or a right, slow down or keep going. Pay attention to the signs and move accordingly. Thank you for your patience and your time, and continue to follow this journey. I'll be updating weekly if the Lord says the same. Until next time, peace. Be multiplied.